Alright guys, welcome to my tier list of the 10 Americas League franchise teams for Split 1. This is based on where I think they will rank at the end of the season, not necessarily right now. This one was pretty interesting just because of all like the roster moves being made. I think this is probably the most out of any region. Actually, no, I think it's equivalent with APAC. I think it was just C9 and Crew. But yeah, with that, let's get into it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys joined. I'm trying to keep growing this channel, see how far it can go. I don't even know if I have like a specific goal in mind or anything, but it would be nice if you subbed or anything like that. And leave a comment on what you thought of the tier list. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, and let's start with the obvious S tier. Two probably top 5 teams in the world. You have Loud, and you have NRG. I think NRG, obviously, it wasn't based off placement. They got 5th to 8th, but they did look like the best team in that group by a decent margin. Obviously, Loud got 2nd at the whole of lock-in. They're going to be the first team here. I think NRG definitely has potential to go above Loud, especially in like a season like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if NRG is the first seed coming out of Americas, but I think you have to rank Loud ahead of them just by nature of them placing 2nd. And then in A tier, I'm gonna start it with Leviathan. I don't feel amazing about it. I'm still a little lower on this team than everybody is, but I think they're a consensus A tier team, and I think they should be an A tier team. Where it kind of comes into question for me is whether I think they're ahead of 100 Thieves or not. That's not even because I think 100 Thieves is so much better than them. I just think Leviathan, every time they like have one of those games where like they can beat the big opponent and get over the hump, they just can't do it. And 100 Thieves has gotten over humps before, being like getting through LCQ, that kind of stuff. And I think if they can continue to like incorporate cryo better and do better with that, I think they should be good to compete in this league and maybe be able to make it to Tokyo. And that's why I have them in the A tier here and what will be the top 5. I then have Furia at A tier. I flirted with putting them at the top of B. But I think with their look at lock-in and like the comps that they were bringing out and just the individual skill with like MW Zera, all the guys really, they all looked really, really impressive. And yeah, I think they should be able to be a pretty big competitor to make it to Tokyo. I don't know how they'll fare in like a whole like season like this is, but I think they should be pretty good. And now onto the bottom half and the B tier. I'm gonna start it with Sentinels. They didn't look good at lock-in. They looked okay. Tens looked really good again. It was progress from the Ludwig Tarek Invitational, but it didn't look that much better. They looked like a little bit more coordinated, and they had like more ironed out rules and all that kind of stuff. But I also don't know if they're like gonna keep improving at a big enough rate to be able to compete for Tokyo. I think this team can compete into like next year. Well, like if there was a second split, I'd actually think that they'd have a shot at that. But I think if they go into next year and they didn't like make top 5 in the whole league, I think they're gonna make roster changes, and I don't know about that. And then we have EG. They actually looked surprisingly good. I think going into the event, I probably would have had them in C tier in the Americas League, but they definitely overperformed my expectations. Obviously, Jojimo looked good. I thought that was going to happen. Ethan definitely outperformed my expectations. BCJ, same thing. Just he looked as good as I thought he would be, like on Initiator, but he was playing Smoke, so I wasn't like entirely sure. So that was good, and yeah, they really impressed me. I think things have to go really right for them to be able to make Tokyo, but it's possible. And then in C tier, we have Cloud9. This might be a hot take. As on the day of recording this, the 15th, they just they didn't get announced, but they had it leaked by George that they were going to sign Jake and Rooney. I think it was Rooney, the right person. Uh, and obviously those are downgrades, but with an org that was, I guess, struggling for money isn't the right word because they're like they lost sponsors, but and they're trying to do like damage control, I guess, according to their CEO. I think it's pretty fair. They got two guys from like tier two NA, and also MCE has been a great scout in the past, so I trust him a lot to be able to build up this roster. And then onto the final two teams, Crew, have them in C tier. I think the addition of Kesnet back into this team will make this team at least C tier. I think they probably have a better shot at Tokyo than Cloud9, but I think Cloud9 will just be overall more consistent than them and be able to probably beat more of the teams than Crew. Like, I think Crew will look worse than Cloud9 in the end, but it'll also be like splitting hairs. Like, are you going to take the star power, like one guy just win you games, or do you want like the more cohesive and like less chaotic team, I guess? Um, I think it'll be down to pickings at the end. I don't think it'll be like, oh my god, one team's so much better. And also, it's the eighth and ninth best team in the league. It's not like we're talking about fucking Loud versus NRG or anything. And last, I have MIBR. I think you could make an argument that there's no D tier team in the Americas League, and I wouldn't argue with you. Obviously, this team has talent and heat, and their coach from Loud, I forget his name. I think it's FRZ. If I'm thinking of the right guy, that might be a different Brazilian team, and I'm sorry if it is. But they didn't look good. They went out and won the Talon. They looked like they crumpled under the Brazilian crowd, and I think there's a good chance that they'd beat like one of the teams above them and then lose to literally everybody else. So I just don't have a lot of confidence in them. And yeah, with that, that's gonna be the whole tier list. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I'm gonna get on to a series. I don't think I'm gonna finish it, but I'm gonna try to do as many videos as I can. I rank like the top 5 in each role for each region. I think it'll be like a separate video, like America's Duelists, EMEA Initiators kind of thing. So that should be fun. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.